I'm starting this segment with some deep lore. It turns out, the reason why so many Australian dudes have this exact same beard is because this notorious Australian outlaw named Ned Kelly, who I only know anything about because of Infographics Show and some other channel that does like historical animated videos. Apparently there was this outlaw named Ned Kelly who is like kind of a Robin Hood figure in Australia, like so much so that he's like a folk hero there, and he had this exact same beard. Also, he literally made like a fucking suit of armor, like a suit of steel armor, and like walked out fucking gunning down cops in this little town that he held up along with his gang. Pretty cool dude from what I've heard about him. So I guess because he's become like such a folk icon and is so like, popular in Australia. He's dead now, obviously. He died, but apparently that's where the beard comes from. Because I noticed that like a lot of Australian dudes have this beard. Like Dark Viper AU has it, and so does Isaac Butterfield. Those are the only two I can think of right off the bat, but it's weird. Listen, it's weird that it happened twice. So that's what made me think about it, and someone commented that on one of my videos on Isaac Butterfield, so I did some research on it, and it turns out it's true. So, yeah, we got a video by Isaac Butterfield here called Men Are Terrified of Dating Feminists. Here's why. I don't know why men would be terrified of dating feminists. I guess it's probably like maybe the feminist will falsely accuse them of rape or something. I have no clue. I've never seen this video. I go into all these videos blind with all of you. So we'll be seeing it for the first time together.
Thankfully for me, dating is a thing of the past. You see, I've been married now for almost 17 years.
Holy shit.
That should confuse a lot of you. But for those of you watching at home, looking to find love, looking to find the one for you, or just find something to throw your pork sword into, dating is a difficult part of life. Because the dating game has changed. Long gone are the days where a man would stand out the front of a woman's house playing a love song on a boombox. You see, that's now a microaggression. That's toxic masculinity, that's the patriarchy, etc. The dating game...
I don't think any progressive person would say that, though I do think they would say it's weird. If the girl's not into you, it's probably kind of harassy. And it's definitely trespassing and disturbance of the peace. I don't think I've heard any relevant, credible feminists say that doing that is like patriarchy. I do suppose if we want to take like a really hardcore, like woke academic stance on it or analysis of that trend, it does seem like it's sort of based in this idea that that like it's typically a dude, at least in every movie or piece of media where that occurs, right? It's become kind of like a meme thing, right? Like the dude does something terrible that upsets the woman they're interested in, and the guy, feeling as though he is entitled to forgiveness, tries to engage in a gesture to earn her forgiveness or to gain her forgiveness and, have her come back to him. So he stands outside the window after hitting it with a few pebbles and then blasts some music from a fucking boombox, and sometimes it works and sometimes the girl shuts the window and calls the cops and the guy gets a restraining order. The girl gets a restraining order against the guy.
Game has changed because ladies have changed. And that's what this video is all about. And I just wanted to give some tips and tricks for dudes.
Oh shit. Are we going to learn about Sigma women? Oh fuck. Sigma females. Women have changed. It's not just the Sigma males. There's also the Sigma females. Oh fuck. Holy shit. This is like a continuation of the last video.
Out there looking to date a hardcore feminist. That's what I wanted to share with you all today. But first, this video is brought to you by the amazing people...
Nope. Sorry. I bet this is the whole sponsored segment. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Are we good now? Okay. No sponsor shilling on my channel.
I stumbled across some very interesting articles about what the modern hardcore feminists expects of the modern dead shit man. What they should watch out for, what they need to look for, all that type of stuff. It's a lot of the media saying, hey women, you need to be told to do this, which is very unfeministy, but anyway, we'll forget that for now.
I don't think whatever we're about to see, what is it going to be, like a BuzzFeed article? Oh yeah, it looks like it's going to be a BuzzFeed article or something like that. I don't think someone making a BuzzFeed article of advice is forcing women to do anything. Now, if Joe Biden came out and was like, all right, now listen to me. All women are now going to have to follow this BuzzFeed quiz here, or this BuzzFeed article here, and you're going to have to now. You're gonna have to do the things on this list now. Whenever you're getting into dating, if you're a feminist woman. And by the way, if you're not a feminist woman, then you will be sent to the gulag and you'll be forced masculinized, along with all of the Trump-supporting men being forced feminized in the testosterone and estrogen gulags. Have you guys heard about that? They're constructing the forced feminization gulags right now. Pretty excited to see what happens.
Strap yourselves in. This is going to be a bumpy ride. This is from Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I wasn't far off. I was not far off, okay? Cosmopolitan, BuzzFeed, those things are pretty fucking close. This is literally, we're 2017? Dude, how strapped for content is Isaac Butterfield at this point that he's going to a Cosmopolitan article from 2017, 15 signs the guy you're dating isn't the woke bae he thinks he is. I wonder if he knows that woke bae is like a meme. Although I don't know, because woke bae was like a meme in 2018. BuzzFeed owns Cosmopolitan? Okay, so it's basically an offshoot of BuzzFeed. All right.
The woke bae, he thinks he is. Ladies, take note. If your man does any of these, fucking watch out. He paints his exes in a negative light. Oh my God. I mean, we've all got exes who we...
This is actually good. No, this is actually good news for anybody who's dating. Anybody who talks about how all their exes were like crazy bitches and are like fucking crazy, and it's always the ex's fault that they broke up or whatever, that should be like a red flag. Because typically when there's that many people that you've had a negative interaction with in regards to relationships, there are two possible outcomes, or three, I should say. Either you are unfathomably fucking unlucky, depending on the amount of partners you've had. Two, you are an insanely bad judge of character when it comes to picking partners to be with. And what does that say about you if they've chosen you as a partner? And three, what are the chances that all those people were the bad ones and this one guy that you're in a relationship with or considering dating is just a victim of all these terrible, terrible women that they've happened to date? Typically, it's not all those people that are the problem. It might be you. I think Swoozy said this best. Do you guys know Swoozy? He's an animation storytime YouTuber, but like not as cringy as you would expect. I think he's a pretty chill dude. Swoozy's a good channel. I like Swoozy. He's a good guy. He's got some cringy takes, you know. But yeah, he made like some videos like a while back. Like these are a few years old at this point. These are like these are the one that I'm talking about is a few years old. What if they cheated? Like if the partners cheated? Well, that's the thing though, because you don't know what happened most of the time. Like you can't actually know why your current partner and their previous partners broke up unless you were like present for it. Most of the time, you're basically only hearing like why your current partner and their old partners broke up from your current partner. You're getting their side of the story and their side of the story only in the vast majority of cases. Kind of seems victim blamey to say you're a bad judge of character, Xander Hall. What do you mean? Comrade Jeff, what does that mean? What? No, I would say if someone's had like a particularly large amount of if you've had a particularly large amount of partners and like all of them were like bad, like they all cheated on you or they all did this terrible shit, like obviously yes, you're the victim of some sort of like wrongdoing, but does it not say something about you that to a certain degree you're kind of a poor judge of character? That doesn't make you a bad person. That's nothing you should be blamed for, but it's an observation. Like if you've had a significant amount of relationships and all of them have been like ended in you getting cheated on or them doing some bad shit to you, does that not say something about how you judge those that you choose to be in a relationship with? It can be hard to judge. Some people are just good at manipulation or abuse. Yeah, some people are, but like if you've had a lot of partners, like if you've had more than 5 partners, think about it this way, okay? If the last 5 partners that you've had for any significant period of time that you were in like an actual serious relationship with and that like you were together for more than a month, if all of them like cheated on you or did some terrible shit, once you start to get past 5 previous bad partners in a row, that's not your fault, but maybe you're not just unlucky. Maybe you're just choosing the wrong people to be in relationships with. The blame is still all on them, but holy shit, like there's a certain point where you got to realize like, I need to start looking for red flags about this kind of shit. This is just simple self-help, I feel like. Like, guys, be careful when you're dating. Like, don't get into a long-term relationship with somebody that has some red flags there that may lead to some, some really bad outcomes in the future,
Don't viciously hate with every fibre in our being, alright? I think that's fine. I think that's pretty normal. Sometimes people break up in an amicable fashion. But let me ask you this, Cosmopolitan. Would you rather your boyfriend, your woke bae, hate all of his exes in a very negative light, or fucking love them all? Answer me that, haters.
I mean, I guess I would prefer... Well, actually, I would actually prefer... Well, listen, I don't want my partner to hate any of their exes, right? Like, I'm going to be honest here. I think that doesn't sound good, Alex. I'm going to kill myself. I forgot that, like... Hold on, I forgot that I'm a lefty YouTuber. Like, I forgot... Like, a shit ton of my audience are probably, like, 20 years old and haven't had, like, a lot of life or dating experience. Listen, it's okay. Everyone who disagrees with me on this take has very little dating experience, and when you get older, you'll start to... You'll understand what I mean, and you'll agree with me. Like, if you're not... like, you're 21, shut up. I would say Crick Chirp, due to the circumstances of my upbringing and my living situation, I've been forced to mature quite quickly comparatively to like a lot of people. Most people my age would probably be in college right now, drinking and spending all of their time studying, drinking, and partying. That's typically what most people my age are doing right now. So yeah, I'd say like, yeah. Also, I've had like, listen, all right? I say that if you have like that many bad relationships, you're a pretty fucking poor judge of character. When I had close your eyes if you are sensitive to suicidal subjects or self-harm. You have 5 seconds to close your eyes and your ears. Mute the video, tab out. I'm giving you guys a content warning. 3, 2, 1. I literally stuck around... I guess you guys can't really see it too well. I literally stuck around with a girl that not only pushed me, but in some ways convinced me to try to take my own life. And I stuck around for her for years, okay? That was not, well, it was in part her fault. But at a certain point, was it really... Yeah, it was Leah. Was it really her fault at a certain point? Obviously it was. But when does some of the blame get shifted onto me? Like, let's be real here. Do you think maybe it would have been, if I had good judgment at the time, I would have realized, this girl is pushing me to severe depression and considering attempting suicide, maybe this girl isn't right for me. I don't think that this is like a super fucking yikesy take. That's how abuse works. Yeah, sometimes like your emotions are too fucking crazy, but yeah. Why do you want to cut your arm off though? It just seemed like a really effective way to do it, I guess. Well, yeah, we were teenagers, Lonnie, but still.
He loves that you don't wear much makeup because he likes the natural look. He thinks it's his place to comment on how anyone chooses to present themselves. This sounds exactly...
All right, cool. So he reads it like a very snarky tone, but this is completely reasonable, and any like adult should be able to recognize this. 3, he loves that you don't wear much makeup because he likes the natural look. He thinks it's his place to comment on how anyone chooses to present themselves. Do one? Do one? What? I don't know what that means. Do one. I don't know. Yeah, no, listen. All right, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I'm pretty sure there have literally been studies done that show that guys absolutely can't fucking tell when a woman is wearing makeup and when they're not. Like most guys unironically cannot tell when a woman just put on foundation and a bit of like eyeliner or whatever that stuff is that women put on their eyelashes to make them look like a little bit thicker in their eyebrows, like the very minimalistic makeup, right? Or mascara. That's mascara. Yeah, like a little bit just to make the eyelashes darker. Like, yeah, they think light makeup is no makeup. They genuinely do, Lonnie. No, there's been like studies on this where guys actually were shown images of women who were wearing makeup in that they were wearing foundation, a little bit of mascara, nothing like the little wing thing like what Shuon Head does or anything like that, but just like a little bit like on the eyelashes themselves and a little bit of filler for the eyebrows. And guys thought, yeah, that's what I'm talking about when I say the natural look. That's no makeup right there. That is what guys think they're saying when they say they like women when they don't wear makeup. When they say I like the natural look, they're thinking, oh, without like the, what's it called? Is this mascara where you do like the thing above the eyes, like the shade, like what's it called? It's like the thing on the eyelid and like just below the eye, yeah, and lipstick and like the mascara or not mascara, eyeliner that goes out with a little floofy, like little woof, like the little wings, like what Shuon Head does. I don't know why I think of Shuon Head when I think of that. I guess it's just like she's pretty well known for doing the wings. And every time I went and they would say, oh my God, you look so good without makeup. You should stop wearing it. Yeah, no, like, yeah. Guys legitimately can't tell what, like most guys actually think they're saying you look so good without makeup, but that woman is actually wearing like foundation and then like fucking mascara or whatever. Or not mascara, fucking, wait. I don't know. Eyeshadow? I don't know makeup, okay? I don't know makeup.
On how anyone chooses to present themselves. This sounds exactly like some whinging, whining fuck that everyone only follows.
But it's meant well not to be mean? Well, yeah, I don't think the article's not saying it's meant to be mean. The guys who say that kind of thing think that they're being nice, but at the same time, they don't recognize that, like, how shitty does it feel to go out and, like, having put some work into your makeup, like you put on foundation, like some basic stuff, right? Like light makeup. And then people are like, oh, you look so good without makeup on. You're like, I'm literally wearing makeup. It feels bad. Wait, hypers if you're someone who wears makeup in chat and when you put on light makeup, people say, oh, you look so good without makeup. And it makes you feel upset. Hypers if you've been in that situation. It doesn't matter what the intention of the people doing it are. The article's not saying that they're a bad person. The argument the article is making is that they aren't as woke as they think they are. Because if you're like super woke, then you would know this, right? Like I'm ultra woke and I know this, right? But yeah, it's just very performative too. That's like something you should never comment on as well. Don't comment. Like women unironically, in most cases, actually don't like it when you say you look better without makeup. They really don't. There's for a variety of reasons. One, typically women wear makeup because they want to. because they like it. They like how they look. They think it's fun. They look pretty. They feel nice. 2, because, it's women aren't necessarily trying to impress people when they wear makeup. This is something that I feel like a lot of people don't get, particularly dudes. Mostly dudes. It's like a backhanded compliment. Exactly, X, yeah. Women don't like it when you comment on how they should present themselves in general. Absolutely, yeah. It does feel controlling as well. Yeah, just let people do their thing.
Because she posts titty pics on her Instagram stories would say. How self-entitled do you sound when you say something like that? Although I will say this, a woman, a lady, a female would never comment on how a man looks. Now, would they, BuzzFeed? Or BuzzFeed?
Here are 15 famous men. Do you prefer them with or without facial hair? Do you prefer these famous men with long or short hair? Wait, is this is like from the same... This is from BuzzFeed. Do you think this is comparable? I don't think saying, oh, I prefer this person with long hair or I prefer this person with short hair. Well, what's the point? Is this supposed to be pointing out hypocrisy? Is that what this is supposed to be? I'm not really seeing any hypocrisy. Because the article wasn't saying that it's bad to have a preference. The article was saying that a guy may not be as woke as they front if they say things like this, which are very well known to be kind of like backhanded compliments that guys typically unintentionally put forth. Yeah. Also, going entirely off the titles. Nice meme.
Again. Not that any man in the entire world would give a shit about any of this. My point being, it's slightly hypocritical of you to sit there and say, you're not allowed to say anything about how we look, but then post articles about...
Damn, hey chat, does anyone have any recollection of reading that part in the article? Did they say that? Hold on. Maybe my memory is just going out. Maybe my memory is just shitting itself. Do we remember that? Did that happen? Does anyone else remember him reading that? From the original thing that we went over about the makeup thing. Did they ever say or even imply that you're not allowed to have an opinion or say anything about how someone looks? Yeah, no, I didn't think so either. I didn't think so either. Nice straw man, though. Nice try, Isaac.
This is why we want you to look. He doesn't speak up when his friends make sexist jokes or when they use degrading language to describe other women. If he just sits there while his mates boast about smashing women and sticking it in them, he's just as bad as the sexist people.
All right, this one's a little bit... All right, I agree with this. It is definitely a red flag, but it doesn't make... That's the Sigma male thing to do, though. He might just be a Sigma male, to be fair. But no, I mean, like... So here's the thing, right? This one I might kind of disagree with. It's mostly true. So, like, obviously, if your boyfriend is, like, hanging out with his bros, his mates... He's hanging out with his mates, and they're like saying, "Oh yeah, that girl walking down the street. I want to beat up her cervix. God damn!" Like, if they're saying shit like that, like unironically, and it's coming off as like really creepy and degrading, then yeah, it's probably a red flag if they don't feel the need to like say, "Hey, chill out." Like it's kind of weird. But at the same time, they could just be nervous to do so because when all your boys are doing that, it can kind of be like overwhelming to say, "Hey guys, could you stop doing that?" And then if it's just like jokes, like if it's just like a sexist joke, I don't think that it's like too much of a red flag if a guy refuses to like stand up against his friends and be like, "No, you cannot make those sexist jokes." I make sexist jokes all the time on my channel. Hold on. And they're all ironic, obviously. Like I joke like, women, femoids, but like it's pretty fucking obvious that there's no actual sincere beliefs or sentiment behind those jokes, right? I think it just depends a lot on context.
Oh, are you alright? Did a man make a joke about you? Once again, you fucking children, alright? Men make jokes about women.
I'd like to remind you all, this guy is a professional comedian that makes shit tons of money doing stand-up in Australia, and I believe all around the world. I think he's gone on, like, tours to other countries as well, and has one of the most successful Australian YouTube channels out there, and is considered extremely funny. Just want to remind you all, because you might have forgotten.
Make jokes about men. Everyone hates everyone, alright? That's the circle of life. That's how it all happens. People make fun of you, me, and everybody else. You better fucking believe this, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't press the subscribe, if you don't... Fuck, I don't know what I'm talking about. Grow up, alright? Telling jokes means nothing, alright? All of his favourite books are written by men. All the TV shows he watches, all the music he listens to, all the films he loves are made by men. Unless he...
All right. I'm going to have to side with Isaac on this one. I'm going to have to side with Isaac on this one. All right. I don't think anybody actually, like... I don't think... Like, listen, okay? If... So here's the thing. This is I'm going to re-woke this take, okay? It's actually pretty tough for women to get into the movie, television, and I guess literature industries. So most mainstream media is just going to be like made by men in the first place, because there are certain socio-political barriers that seem to prevent women from getting into these positions where they could do things such as, have big, direct movies or anything like that, like or write books and have it do well. Like, there are a lot of things that get in the way of this. So naturally, most properties seem to be the creations of men when it comes to mainstream things. But also, I don't think that someone isn't woke because the media they enjoy happens to have been created by... Oh my god. Oh, I should not have chugged all that coffee. It's probably not good that, like, half of my coffee is also creamer. That's probably... I'm going to regret that later, aren't I? I don't... This is, like, the most lib shit take that we've seen in this article so far. I can't even steelman this take. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel like I could steelman this take. Xanderhall, I get what this take is talking about. Male authors are real fucking weird when writing about women. Yeah, they can be, but, like, that's not what this take is about. Like, if he actively avoids any media made by women, sure. If it's an active decision to avoid media created by women, that would be an obvious red flag. But, like, if it's a coincidence, then I don't think... It's a buzz... To be fair, it's a fucking Cosmopolitan article, okay? Cosmopolitan is one of the, like, most notorious, like, weird, cringy, like, lib... I don't even know how to describe it. I don't fucking know. Oh, yeah, no, Stephen King. No, Stephen King is very cringe when he writes about women as well. I mean, it's easy to take Yo Steelman. Read the rest of the take. It's saying woke bae will never understand the female experience. Hold on, okay. All the TV shows he watches, all the music he listens to, all the films he loves are made by men unless he regularly engages with the work of women and does this without boasting about it. Yeah, obviously boasting about it's pretty cringe. He will have no actual clue about the female experience. Yeah, I guess that last part is reasonable, but, like, I don't think most stories that star women in any way do a good job of teaching readers that are not women about the female experience. Do we, like how many stories that feature women actually do a good job of, like, showing people what it's like to be a woman? I can't think of many. Like, the go-to things that I think of, like, nothing about, like, you could literally, most of the time, even when they're made by female authors, like, you could literally switch the genders of the characters and it wouldn't change a thing. Even when it comes to, like, yeah, like, even when it comes to, female authors. I don't know. It's just a really Libby take. I'll give a soft agree with Isaac on this one.
Regularly engages with the work of women, and does so without boasting about it, he actually has no clue about the female experience. So fucking what? People listen to things that they enjoy, watch things they enjoy, read things that they enjoy. Does it matter if it was made by a dude with a dick or a chick with a fucking vag or a chick with a dick or a dude with a vag? Who gives a fuck, alright? I just finished watching The Queen's Gambit, a fucking great show. The main character's a woman, and I didn't even mind. Alright? I know that's gonna blow everyone's fucking mind out there, but it doesn't matter if it's a good story, then it's fucking not bad. He pressures you to do stuff that you're not comfortable with. I think they're talking about anal. He cries!
Oh, wait. Did he just have no response to that? There's no way he could argue against this one. Yeah. Respecting other people's boundaries makes you an honorable human being. Anyone who pushes you to do something you don't want to is trash. There is literally no way, like, there's no way to argue against that one, so he just had to throw in the anal joke because he has to pad the runtime. This is literally an inarguable position. Like, you have to be, like, pro-rape to argue against this, so I guess it's, like, just... Wait, does he think that, like, you should pressure, like, it's fine to pressure a woman into doing anal if she doesn't want to? Excuse me. All right. Well, good thing for me is I'm not into anal. I'm not attracted to the sphincter.
To do stuff that you're not comfortable with. I think they're talking about anal. He cries! Not all men, when you're talking about rape culture or objectification. And sure, we're not saying all men are X or Y, but derailing a very important conversation just to protect the image of men is undermining and frustrating.
All right, this is true, okay? This one's going to be hard. Okay, hold on. This one's going to be hard to steal, man, just based on how it was worded. And he's going to straw man the position pretty fucking annoyingly. All right, so listen. Rape culture, which we're going to get into. Did you notice he's skipping numbers? Yeah, he is, yeah. There's probably, like, a bunch of in there that aren't really, like, in any way objectionable, but he wants to paint this article as being, like, fucking horrible. All right, listen, okay? So we'll use rape culture as an example, because we're going to talk about that later in the stream as well when we talk about the AOC thing. Rape culture is complicated to explain. However, I will say... most of the time, when people talk about rape culture, they aren't saying that it is men perpetuating or normalizing rape, like specifically men. That's not what they're saying. So, you know, retorting with not all men isn't really a valid argument against it. It's typically talking about when people discuss rape culture, they're talking about a broader societal behavior or reaction to generally women and their allegations of sexual impropriety, rape, assault, harassment, and so on. It's not like, oh, men are doing this. It's society. What the fuck can I not talk? Society is normalizing this. So saying not all men isn't really a good response. Here, I'll do an example. I'll do an example that Isaac Butterfield can appreciate because he's a bit more on the right-leaning side. How about this, all right? A lot of right-leaning people enjoy talking about black crime statistics. You know, like the 1350. Now, if you are a left-leaning sociologist or anybody who is in any way interested in making the world a better place, you'll acknowledge that the reason why black people commit crime disproportionately to their population is due to socioeconomic factors, and you would seek to remedy said socioeconomic factors. However, how would a right-winger feel if someone said if they said 1350 and a liberal said not all black people? Well, the conservative would say, well, no, we're not saying it's all black people. We're saying it's a broader problem. Now, they don't actually seek to fix that problem. They think black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, or if they're really far right, that they need to be like detained or killed or deported or ethno-stated or whatever the fuck they want to do. But it's a bit similar to that. That is the best way I can create an argument that'll appeal to a right-winger. If you try to make an argument about a broader issue, and then someone responds with a more specified response, like, oh, not all of these people. Like, yeah, no one's saying it's all of these people. When we talk about rape culture, we're not talking about all men. Fucking obviously. Do you think that those that talk about rape culture think every man is a rapist? Wouldn't guys who believe in and talk about rape culture then implicitly be admitting to rape? Do you think that would maybe be like a bad decision?
Yeah, that's crazy. Imagine someone like going out of their way to say, hang on, all men aren't rapists, or all men don't sexually assault women, or all men aren't involved.
Yeah, but no one's saying that. So it's kind of weird when you respond with some, it's misdirection. No one's saying all men are rapists or whatever.
In domestic violence cases. Imagine someone saying that. That's just crazy. Why would you need to say that all men don't do these things? Here's the answer to that question. Anytime you read about rape culture or you read about toxic masculinity, they don't just say, oh, we're just talking about the ones that actually commit these horrible acts. No, they just...
Nope. That's not at all what it's about. He's literally lying here. He has no idea what he's talking about. He doesn't even know what the definition of rape culture is. Nothing in any academic definition of rape culture that I've ever read specifically mentions men and certain men pushing this. It is a broader societal thing perpetuated by both men, women, and even non-binary people and other gender identities just as much. The problem is when you live in a society, you are subject to the expectations and general movement or push for a certain cultural response to things in that society. And unless you go very hard out of your way to try to fight against those negative predilections, I guess the word would be, I don't know, vocabulary is off today, I'm tired, in society, then you are kind of implicitly allowing this to happen. The issue is, if you know that there is a big, like right now with like the Me Too thing, right? Like we found out that it started with Hollywood, right? We found out that in Hollywood and in like the elites, right? The elites of particularly America, but all around the world, that there's been a shit ton of sex trafficking and rape and pedophilia. Do you know how many people knew about Harvey Weinstein? Do we know how many people knew about Jeffrey Epstein in these industries? How many rich, powerful, famous people knew what these people were doing? And they just kind of they didn't participate, many of them. Obviously, some of them did, especially with Epstein, but like, they may not have, participated, but in not doing everything they could to bring these things to light, they're implicit in what's happening. If you knew that Harvey Weinstein was raping young girls, like literally, Seth MacFarlane made a reference to it at the that award show. Yeah, I remember that. The guy who made Family Guy, he like made a joke about Harvey Weinstein raping women, and then the audience laughed, and then I swear he like stopped smiling for a second, like frowned, like, oh, they think it was a joke, right? It's like an open secret. The fact that so many people were like complicit with this and didn't speak out until they finally did doesn't mean that they are necessarily involved in it, but they're complicit in it. And that's what people are talking about when they discuss rape culture. The idea is you may not be a part of it. Obviously, not all men, literally. However, unless you take an active effort to try to stop this or speak out against it, you're complicit in society's general reaction to these accusations, especially legally. The way that we deal with like rape and sexual assault is actually really fucked. It's surprisingly easy for a rapist to get away with rape. Like there's obviously statute of limitations. There obviously has to be evidence. There's like the hardest evidence you can get is like a rape kit, and those things that aren't really useless after a certain amount of time. Obviously, the most notable case that comes to mind right now is Brock Turner, the swimmer, who literally was able to get off really fucking easy because his lawyer said, look at this fine young man. He just had a momentary lapse of judgment, a moment of weakness. Are you really going to destroy his life, this boy's bright future, over a mistake? When we live in a society where shit like that can happen, and then you can get away with it, there's a rape culture. When you can live in a society in which a president can be elected, when they've got over 50 credible rape, sexual assault, or sexual harassment allegations against them, and they can be elected and become the most powerful person in the world, you live in a rape culture. You may not be for it or in favor of it. You are still complicit in its existence, though, if you do not actively fight or speak out against it.
Just say fucking every person with a cock! Particularly when they say shit like kill all men. Like, no wonder people get defensive about that. He mansplained.
Who says this unironically? Does he actually think the left agrees with the kill all men thing? Like the actual left. Obviously, libs exist. There's a lot of like pussy hat wearing, I'm still with her type libs that probably do unironically believe that. But they're in such an unfathomably small minority. But I mean, like, when your brain is this like 2016 poisoned, you probably genuinely think all feminists want to kill all men.
Explain things to you. This could be anything from your actual job to the very notion of feminism. Well, if you...
All right. Mansplaining. Basically, mansplaining is when I'm actually mansplaining right now, but I'm going to do it anyway. Mansplaining is basically when a guy, and I've done this a few times. I've noticed I've done this like to Lonnie, and then she'll be like, Alex, you don't need to explain this to me. I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is, but it seems like this is usually something that guys do, where like there's something that you'll be explaining to a woman, and you'll feel as though even though that woman may or may not be qualified in that particular subject, you'll find yourself explaining it to them in detail anyway. With sort of this, and it's at least from like studies that I've seen, it seems to be a subconscious belief that like you probably know something that they don't. It's not necessarily sexist in intent. However, it's sexist in outcome because there's this sort of implicit idea that a lot of dudes seem to have that they know more about this topic than a woman would, right? This seems to happen a lot when it comes to gaming, where a lot of dudes will go to like a girl and like over-explain something that the girl already knows about a game, and a lot of the time you won't know that you're doing it because the girl will be like, yeah, I'm used to this. I'll just sit here and wait for him to finish. You know, this is a thing that actually happens quite a bit. I don't think in most cases it's an active, like, misogynistic thing that's being done. It just seems to be sort of it's more of a nurture rather than nature thing, right? It's not like men are inherently predisposed to over-explaining things to women where they probably already know what's going on, and it's completely useless to do this. It seems to just be something taught to a lot of guys to be like very assertive and explanatory to women, to kind of talk down to women a little bit, you know? Are we going to deny that society kind of implies that men are in a position where they should talk down to women a little bit on certain situations? I don't feel like we disagree on that too much, right? It seems like this is a thing in most media. It's generally pretty societally acceptable. Yeah, that's basically what mansplaining is.
You knew what the fuck you were talking.
I do hate the term, though. The term is unbelievably cringe. It does make me want to rip my eyeballs out and shove them up my own ass.
About and got your facts right, we wouldn't have to. But this is not just the amazing journalists at BuzzFeed, it's also at Vice. This one's entitled, Have You Been Wokefished Whilst Dating? Here's how to tell. If a dude on Hinge, which is like Tinder and shit, describes himself as a feminist, pay close attention to how he actually treats women. Okay, first, ladies, if a dude describes himself as a feminist, he has no substance about himself whatsoever. He's not intelligent, he's not humorous, he's nothing. He's just trying to fuck you by trying to, like, I don't know, appeal to your delicate sensibilities about...
Wait, isn't that literally the argument that the video is about to make, or that the article is about to make? Wait, no, unironically. Isn't that the argument that the article, that seems like that's where the article is going, right? Like Wokefishing, that's what that is. It's like, oh, I'm a feminist, but really I just want to get in your pants, right? I'm just taking advantage of your woke beliefs to try, like, wait, that's literally what the article is about, warning like a lot of women that, like, hey, there are dudes that'll pretend to be woke or pretend to be a feminist, but they really just want to get in your pants. Like, only Isaac Butterfield could read the title of an article that, like, heavily implies an argument, and then Isaac make the argument that the article is about to make against the article.
How important feminist culture is, and that everyone's oppressed, and I'm going to save you all. That's the only way he gets to fuck chicks. That's literally it. A wokefish may first present themselves as a protest-attending, sex-positive, anti-racist, intersectional feminist who drinks ethically sourced oat milk and has read the back catalogue of Audre Lorde twice. But in reality, they don't give a shit, or, as often the case is, they're actively the opposite in their personal lives. It's sort of their catfishing with their own political beliefs. Okay, that's...
Oh, wait, it looks like he's about to agree. Okay, he actually read the article now. I wonder if he films... I don't think these are scripted. I unironically don't think that these videos are scripted. You would think they are, because it's prepared content where it's, like, edited and stuff like that. So the last, like, 30 seconds before he read that, where he was ranting about how men who call themselves feminists are just trying to get in your pants, was completely pointless, because that was the exact argument that article just made. As a matter of fact, you could have literally voiced that over in Isaac Butterfield's voice, and it would sound like something he would say about dudes who call themselves feminists, but are, disingenuous with their beliefs
that sounds dangerous,
and intentions.
But surely, give us an example, give us some evidence. That's not happening in real life. His advice. Zara, 23, was...
Wait, what? No fucking way. Did he just argue against his original argument because he has to disagree with the article? Wait, can we rewatch that?
Advice. This one's entitled, Have You Been Wokefished Whilst Dating? Here's how to tell. If a dude on Hinge, which is like Tinder and shit, describes himself as a feminist, pay close attention to how he actually treats women. Okay, first, ladies, if a dude describes himself as a feminist, he has no substance about himself whatsoever. He's not intelligent, he's not humorous, he's nothing. He's just trying to fuck you by trying to, like, I don't know, appeal to your delicate sensibilities about how important feminist culture is, and that everyone's oppressed, and I'm going to save you all.
All right, now let's watch him read the article.
That's the only way he gets to fuck chicks. That's literally it. A wokefish may first present themselves as a protest-attending, sex-positive, anti-racist, intersectional feminist who drinks ethically sourced oat milk and has read the back catalogue of Audre Lorde twice. But in reality, they don't give a shit, or, as often the case is, they're actively the opposite in their personal lives. It's sort of their catfishing with their own political beliefs. Okay, that sounds dangerous. But surely, give us an example, give us some evidence. That's not happening in real life.
Am I the only one that that's... The article made the same argument he did at the beginning. He completely 180'd on it. The second he reads the woke article that agrees with him, he has to change his opinion on it. Like, we get that, right? Like, you all heard that? That literally the article made the exact same argument he did? And then he flipped on it the second he finished reading it? I'm glad we all got that. I'm glad we all are at an understanding here.
His advice. Zara, 23, was wokefished. After being in a relationship with her ex for a year, she realised that some of his views seemed really off. And by really off, I'm sure what Vice means is they didn't align with hers. And we're in a society right now where if your views slightly don't line up, if they're not parallel, then you must freak the fuck out and write into Vice. He seemed very philosophical, artistic, very well read. He was passionate about the environment and staunchly opposed the likes of Jordan Peterson. I'm always shocked when people don't.
I can't stop looking at his beard jiggling. I don't know how it's possible, but his beard jiggles, and I can't stop looking at it. It's hypnotic.
Like Jordan Peterson. It's like, obviously you've never read anything he's ever written or never listened to him, and you are a fool. However, he was...
No, Jordan Peterson's a dumb fuck. Jordan, I would debate this guy on whether or not Jordan Peterson is a fucking hack. The guy's entire career now is pushing, like, tradcon conservative talking points about preserving this, like, weird chauvinistic version of past society.
Want to debate every argument and play devil's advocate the whole time. Oh my god, are you alright, Zara? He disagreed with you. He didn't accept some things that are fundamental to people's identity and are not up for questioning, Zara explains. I found the incessant need to debate exhausting and often upsetting.
Why is he blurring out like half of the paragraph? He hasn't done this so far. Am I the only one that's noticed that he hasn't blurred out a single thing so far, but now he's like blurring out particular parts of it? I don't know. Like, I'm not saying he's trying to hide anything. Like, there might be something midway through the paragraph that he's specifically blurred out to try to maybe hide a more justifiable stance here. It's just kind of weird because he hasn't done that so far. Find the original article? No.
Setting, and he never acknowledged his own privilege. Sounds like Zara needs to remove the lead-infused butt plug from her anus. And it sounds like Zara's partner just dodged the biggest, most painful bullet that's ever fucking existed. Now, this isn't all feminists. Believe it or not, I've actually gotten to know some classical feminists in my time making videos and
classical feminists?
That type of business, and just growing up. And with a lot of them, I just completely, wholeheartedly agree with all their beliefs.
Oh, God, this takes me back to the fucking... He's not talking about TERFs, I don't think. I mean, obviously, a lot of classical feminists would be TERFs. Okay, so this was an argument made by... So, apparently, Isaac Butterfield is... He's, like... He's economically very progressive, like, big on free healthcare and, like even bordering, like SOCDEM area, economically. But he's very reactionary when it comes to social issues, you know? So back when I was a reactionary, early on, of course, when I was watching the likes of Chris Ray Gun and Seanhead, a common argument that they would make was, I don't have any problem with feminism, but this third wave feminism, these SJWs, they aren't real feminists. They don't actually care about women's rights. They just hate men, and they want attention. But I actually agree with, like, women's rights and you know, like, first and second wave feminism, but it's third wave feminism that's bad, which is, you know, pretty funny considering I believe most academics consider us to be in second wave feminism right now. So it's a little weird that they call it third wave, but I mean, I guess it's just a social thing as opposed to the academic analysis of feminism and these sort of waves, as you could describe them. But yeah, this is an argument they made a lot.
But it's this modern form of feminism where they consistently act as this oppressed race of people, which is just hilarious. And there's no wonder that things like Wokefishing exist, because dudes are sitting there going, how the fuck am I going to get on a date with that bird or root that bird with me being a fucking normal human being and not being some woke piece of shit? Modern feminists are so convinced that everything they read on BuzzFeed or Twitter is fucking gospel, and that is dangerous. It's not up for debate, they can never be argued otherwise, and that's just a fucking bad way to live. But I honestly feel very, very sorry for any man who has to date a modern feminist, because I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East, be dick stinks. Keep it moist, and I'll see you very soon. Toodaloo, bye-bye.
Amazing. Alright. Well, that was fun. Alright. Alright, that was fun. Based Mo? Yeah, Mo made a really good video on Isaac Butterfield, and Isaac Butterfield squirmed around and tried to make a response, but it was very embarrassing on his part. Yeah, no, I mean, there's not much else to say. It just seems like Isaac Butterfield is one of those creators that has an insane amount of popularity, but is perpetually stuck in 2016. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah, I mean, like, he's progressive in a lot of issues. He's like bordering SOCDEM, maybe even further left when it comes to economic like issues. But he's kind of like 2016 era shoe on head or Chris Ray Gun when it comes to social issues. So the problem is, and it's really hard to get people out of this, when your exposure to left-leaning politics and political interlocutors is like confined entirely to SJW cringe compilations, it gives you a very skewed image of what left-leaning people are like nowadays. One of the best ways to try to snap people out of that is to discredit those that expose them to these kind of ideas. Because, like, think about it like this. How many 15-year-old white boys, 15 to like 20-something-year-old white boys out there, do you think when they think of feminism, they think of Big Red? You know Big Red? The girl with the feminist lady with the Karen haircut, and it's red, and she's got the glasses, and she's like kind of, you know, she yells. Yeah, that one. Yeah, how many 15-year-old white boys do you think of her when they hear feminism, or Trigglypuff? How many? All of them. So when that's what is evoked in your mind when you think feminism, it's pretty damn hard to break people out of that immediate assumption. Big Red is an icon. She deserves respect. Sure. Terrible optics, though. She's not a public figure, to my knowledge, so it's not really on her or anything like that. But still, we can all agree, terrible optics, right? Xana's wrong about what wave of feminism we're in. From what I've read, it's supposed to be like we're in second wave feminism, but I don't know. Maybe it is third wave. Just from what I've read, it was like first wave feminism ended in the 70s or something like that. Typically, it seems like leftist academics refer to second wave feminism as being everything after like the main women's liberation movements and being more focused on contemporary societal perspectives. I don't disagree with second wave feminism, but you know, that's how it is. We're on third wave now, babe? Really? Hold on. Okay. It seems like... Oh shit, Pacific University EDU says we're on 4. We're on fourth wave feminism now, boys and girls and NPALs. We're on fourth wave now. Holy shit. We're going further beyond than we could have ever imagined. Soon we'll be on the 5th. It's gonna be poggers as fuck. Hey, I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. It helps the video a lot. If you want to see more of my content, please subscribe and ring the bell icon so YouTube actually tells you when I live stream or upload a new video. Also, if you're watching this right after it was uploaded, I should be live in 1 hour at 1 PM PST every day on YouTube and my website, xanderhall.com. Please come stop by and say hello. I love seeing new people in chat. Also make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description. Join my fan Discord if you want to contact me for a discussion or debate through the link in the description as well. If you're feeling extra generous and you can afford it, you can support me financially by donating or subscribing on my website, hitting the join button below the video to become a channel member, or super chatting during my streams. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.